Hi, I'm District Judge Ricky Yetter, driver of the number 5 Dirt Modified at Mahoning Valley Speedway, and you're guilty of watching the best racing show in Pennsylvania, Pit Pass.
From the roar of the crowd to the roar of the engine, this is Pit Pass.
Pit Pass is brought to you by Aaron's of State College on the Benner Pike, by W.R. Hickey Beer Distributor, celebrating 80 years, and by Pocono Raceway, the Tricky Triangle. Here are your hosts, Ron Fox and Jan Miller.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for another edition of Pit Pass right here on WHVL.
Now, that intro was by District Judge Ricky Yetter, who drives 2 dirt modifieds, one on asphalt at Mahoning Valley and the other on dirt at Big Diamond. We have a story of that coming up later on in the show.
And here's what we will also have on this week's Pit Pass. We go to Path Valley Speedway, where on Friday night it was twin late model features paying $1,500 to win. On Saturday, it was some Mahoning Modified Madness. Twin 50-lap features for the modifieds at Mahoning Valley Speedway. And we'll take a look at some specials for sprints, modifieds, and late models.
Friday night, we were at Path Valley Speedway. They had the Roy and Margaret McGee tribute race. They were the founders of the racetrack, and it paid $1,500 to win.
But the night started off with the rescheduled steel block late model feature, which paid $1,500 to the winner of their 30-lap feature. Kyle Merkel in the 31J would lead the 16 steel block bandits to the green. Yet by the time they hit turns 1 and 2, it's the 69 of outside pole sitter Justin Earhart in the lead. Third belongs to the 1 of Gene Knobb, who is followed by the 4 of Danny Snyder. As they come down to complete the first lap, the top 7 cars are already single file. We would only get 1 lap in the books before a caution would come out. On lap 4, Snyder works under Knobb to take away the 3rd position through turns 3 and 4. The 82 of points leader Andy Freeze also looks low under Knobb, but can't complete the pass. On lap 11, Snyder moves up to the runner-up spot with this pass of Merkel, who then slides high in 3 and 4, opening the door for Knobb to take over 3rd. A couple of laps later, Snyder pressures Earhart for the lead, who is trying to lap Patrick Briner. Briner spins in 1 and 2. Freeze gets a piece of his car, as Dominic DeFino comes to a stop while trying to avoid the collision. And Snyder would go pit side and retire from the event. On the restart, Knobb is able to stay within a couple of car lengths of Earhart. They start to open up the gap on Merkel. Freeze uses the inner groove to make a bid for the 3rd spot. In 1 and 2, Freeze takes the position. For the next couple of laps, Knobb and Earhart waged a spirited battle for the lead. Knobb would gain the top spot as they put 18 laps in the books. A couple of local drivers, George Dixon Jr. in the orange 77 and the 39 of Tim Smith Jr., raced for the 6th position on lap 24. For the remainder of the race, Earhart kept pace with Knobb, but could not prevent Gene Knobb from picking up the win in the steel block bandit feature.
Congratulations on your win, Gene. Now, Danny Snyder and Justin Earhart were battling for first place until a collision took Danny out. Do you believe if that collision wouldn't have occurred, would you still have been able to pass the 2 of them to take the checkers?
Yeah, probably not. That's a very demanding racetrack, and track position played a lot in that race. But that's part of racing on a small racetrack like this, and we'll take them any way we can get them.
Now, Justin's a good friend of yours. Do you think that helped you strategically in deciding to take him on the inside?
No, I was a little bit quicker than him, and I got to run down the backstretch. It was on the inside of him, and he didn't know I was there. Turned down the racetrack a little bit, and we bumped, and I continued on. Just glad he was able to continue and finish 2nd.
Now, you said in Victory Lane that taking on all these different tracks makes you a better driver.
Yeah, it sure does. When you go to different racetracks, the track conditions are all different, and you got a lot of choices and tires and whatnot, combinations to run, and it just makes you a better driver, and and a little more. Obviously, you get a little more experience for the next time you come back, and hopefully you can do a little better.
Now, what do you think about this clay track?
Oh, I like this track. Very first time we came here, I never even seen it before we won, and it was actually a day race. It was a little bit slower than this, but then we come back and it was real fast, I guess, and we didn't run so well. I think we ran 4th or something. But, everything was good tonight, and, we'll see what happens here in this next feature.
Excellent, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
So it's Gene Knob and Justin Earhart finishing 1 and 2 in the Steel Block Bandits. They were followed by Andy Freeze, Dominic DeFino, and Chris Eaton. The 69 of Justin Earhart, who led 17 laps in the Steel Block Bandit event earlier in the evening, jumped out to the early lead in the Roy and Margaret McGee tribute race for the late models. The Black 82 of Andy Freeze uses the bottom groove to gain a position, while we see things bottle up in turn 4, but everyone continues on to race. Early on, the 39 of Tim Smith Jr. and Wes Bonebrake in the 5 ride battled for the runner-up position. Steel Block Bandit winner Gene Knob started 8th, but wasted no time in making his way to the front. The lap car of Kenny Yoder gets sideways off of turn 2, colliding with Smith, who loses 3 positions. For a few laps, Knob challenged Bonebrake for the 2nd spot before making this pass off of turn 4. Freeze rode in the 4th position. As Earhart began to lap cars, Knob slowly reeled in the leader before the first caution flag flew on lap 25. On the single file restart, Knob rides on Earhart's rear bumper initially, then works the high side of Earhart. Down the backstretch, he pulls even with Earhart. They continue that way through turns 3 and 4. As they complete lap 26, Knob takes over the lead. Another caution, 3 laps later, bunched the field, yet Knob pulled away from Earhart as the laps wound down. And Gene Knob would go on to take his 2nd victory and $1,500 winner's check of the evening.
Congratulations again, Gene. Now in this race, we were caution-free for the first 25 laps. Do you think that played a part in helping you move up from 8th position where you started?
Well, it sure didn't hurt anything the way it worked out. We were just fortunate enough to, like you say, run some green flag laps and everything opened up, and I didn't get boxed in and, made it to the front, before the caution did come out.
Now before the first caution, you were digging low on Earhart, and then you ended up doing the winning pass on the outside.
Yeah, I was kind of sizing him up. I seen he was struggling a little bit with lap traffic on the bottom, and I was fixing to go to the outside, and then the yellow come out. So it all worked out into my favor.
And is it true that this is the first night that you've had 2 wins in one night?
Yeah, as far as I can remember. I've been racing for some time, and I can't ever remember that. But just proud of my effort, my team, and glad to win some races.
Now you've had over 100 wins in the 358s, and so we know that you dominate. Are we going to be seeing you more in the supers?
Well, I'd like to say yes, but that car costs so much to run it. I mean, the motors are very expensive. We got one. It's kind of got some old technology in it. It's a couple of years old. Well, it's about 10 or 12 years old, but it runs well. So we just pick and choose, and we kind of like to run our hometown tracks we're familiar with, and we'll see what happens. This car has been so great, so we just keep on running it.
And we hear a rumor that you might race here more often on Fridays?
Yeah, it's possible. We'll see if it works into the schedule. Obviously these cars are a lot of work, and kind of down on some crew help right now, but if it works out, got some decent paying races, yeah, we'll be back.
Now you took 2 wins from Justin tonight. Do you think he'll still be your friend after this?
Yeah, he'll be all right. He's a close neighbor and a friend, so yeah, we'll work that out.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Knob, Earhart, and Freeze finished 1, 2, 3 just as they had in the Steel Block Bandit race. Wes Bonebrake was 4th, with Tim Smith Jr. 5th.
Well, I got to interview Gene twice on Friday, but that was not the first time I've ever interviewed him.
I've interviewed him a couple of times over the past few seasons, and it didn't come as a surprise that he was in victory lane.
Yeah, I think you were expecting that, but so were the fans. They told me that they were expecting him to win.
Yeah, when I saw Justin Earhart up there in both those races, I thought, oh, maybe Gene isn't going to win, but he did.
I think Gene was teasing us.
Well, we will have more highlights from Path Valley Speedway later on in the show. But coming up next, it's Mahoning Modified Madness. Twin 50-lappers for the ground-pounding modifieds. That and more when Pit Pass returns.
You smell that?
New furniture smell?
Yeah, but it's more than that. It smells like mine.
Yep, it is. Just sign right here.
Mine? Mine.
You can.
That's mine too. Thank you. Is this weird?
This is weird.
Aaron's wants you to feel what it's like to own new furniture. You're pre-approved for up to $2,000 in merchandise without needing credit. So shop today. Get started at aarons.com/2000.